Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. I am Caleb and I am here for another fragrance video. Thank you very much for tuning in. Today is a special one, folks, because we are talking about my personal top 10 fall fragrance video. Now, this time last year, I did my first ever fragrance video, starting off with the fall, kicking off with a top 10 list. This upcoming year, last year I meant to do one for each season. Life happened, things happened, whatever. This year, I'm really going to make the commitment. I'm going to strive to definitely do the top 10. I definitely will this year, as well as also amping up some other lists that I have, maybe talking about specific notes, as well as individual fragrance reviews. Now, I love fall, I love winter. From a fashion standpoint, fall, winter, that is the period of time where really the best clothes come out. And in my opinion, that's where the best fragrances come out. So this list and the winter list, that they're both already set at this point. These are the lists where my personal favorite fragrances, like if you rank all of my fragrances, most of them are gonna be featured in the fall and winter side. And whatnot. So without further ado, let us get into this list. We have some great ones here, some from last year, but it's different. It's a different list. So if you watched last year's, it's worth the watch this time. And if you haven't watched last year's, watch this one and then watch last year's afterwards or before and then come back. Number 10 right away. No honorable mentions this time. This time we're just talking about the top 10. We're going to start off with the house, the French legendary house of Chanel. And this one is one that you probably will not expect, and you probably will not hear really anybody else talk about, probably. And this is Allure Sensuelle. Chanel's Allure Sensuelle. This fragrance right here is a first-rate patchouli fragrance. If you're familiar with Chanel patchouli, fragrances like Mademoiselle and its flankers, fragrances like Coromandel in the L'Exclusif line. This really has a little bit of both of those in the sense that Chanel patchouli, in my opinion, has a little scratch to it. It's got this, it's a crystalline patchouli kind of hidden behind this glass. It's almost as if the glass had been chipped and some glass has been sprinkled over the patchouli. That's what I always get with a Chanel patchouli. In this case here, Allure Sensuelle is really smooth. It has some fruit notes, an alleged peach accord, but it really has rose jasmine, and as well as, I believe, a little bit of mandarin orange up top, but it's not as citric. And you all may or may not know, but I'm really not keen on citrus, so I can really detect it when it's there, even if it's just in the opening. But this one, it's just smooth as butter. It's super smooth. Like, if you like Coromandel, in my opinion, I like this one a little bit more. And so just off of that alone, if you trust my opinion, if you like my tastes, I would say you wouldn't be disappointed by this. This is a great bargain, a great deal, considering what you're getting, the level of perfumery. Again, composed by Jacques Polge. You really get a smooth patchouli with a little bit of floral, a little bit of woody, sandalwood, and whatnot. It's just phenomenal. Check it out if you get the chance. Number 9, the next fragrance we're going to be talking about is the Jacques Guerlain creation. But which one? Can you take a guess? It's the one made in 1919. Today we are going with Mitsouko at number 9. Gorgeous fragrance. It's centered around moss, it's centered around patchouli, lots of spices. You also have a big peach accord at the top with some bergamot and I think rose de mai as well, and some jasmine, just like the classic Allure Sensuelle. That's almost a sheep as well, to be honest. And so it's great. It's very spicy, very warm, inviting, very classic. It almost reminds me of my grandmother's house. It's cozy, it's really nice. I remember this time last year, I was wearing this a lot, and the same is gonna go for this year. Guerlain Mitsouko. If you don't know it, please research it. It is a legendary perfume for a reason. Guerlain Mitsouko, it made last year's list. It's actually here again. Number 8, we have the other Jacques Guerlain creation, Shalimar. Now, we just did 2 videos about Shalimar. One was for the brand new 100-year anniversary. Happy birthday, Shalimar. Again, Shalimar L'Essence. This is Shalimar EDP. Either one goes in my number 8 spot. I love this scent. It's vanilla heavy, especially the L'Essence. But I'm going to talk about the EDP, the Grenade, 6 main notes, tonka bean, vanilla at the base, which to me, you know, that's what a party is. A 3 floral heart with iris or iris, jasmine, rose, and of course bergamot at the top. So those 6 pillars, that is essentially Shalimar, some sort of leather accord. Fantastic fragrance. Now this one again is known for the big bergamot top blending with the warm ambery base. At the bottom, Shalimar L'Essence is basically this. Again, the powder of the iris and the floral heart. It's gorgeous. It's you know, for those who know Lilian, and you could also put this, exchange this out with Lilian as well. I would say my 8th spot. You'll find that I do this a lot during the list. I'll tell you alternatives. Lilian's another one of this. Any of Shalimar's flankers pretty much can be in this spot. I would recommend as well for number 8 fall fragrance. I have all of them out there. And Shalimar L'Essence is pretty much like Shalimar EDP or EDT, but really it really focuses on vanilla. I always say it's washed over with vanilla. Just take the whole composition and just throw a slab of vanilla on top. Gorgeous, excellent modern rendition of Shalimar that I think most people who are not familiar with Shalimar or who are not crazy about old school perfumery or fine French perfume will probably like this one more than any other iteration of Shalimar, at least in terms of EDP or EDT. But that, in fact, to be honest, like I said, I kind of prefer L'Essence more than the EDP as well. See my other videos on Shalimar for more details, but for now, Shalimar at number 8. Number 7, we have this fragrance is no joke. Like I actually have to slow down for this one. This fragrance is literally no joke. I got this a couple of months ago, and that's how I feel on the inside talking about this fragrance. This fragrance, man, is so crazy. It makes you want to scream and shout and let it all out. We're talking about Amouage Jubilation 40. Amouage Jubilation 40. First off, the presentation is absolutely insane. And I'm not one for all gold bottles. I personally think it's a little too gaudy and kind of tacky. But the way they did this, you can see the inside is painted with a candy paint gold, and you still get a thick slab of glass. That right there, that's class. I like that a lot. Amouage Jubilation 40 with the blue stone on top of the head. What do you get here? At the top, you get a big dose of blackberry. Now, if you're not familiar with blackberry preserves or just any sort of blackberry pie or whatever, that's pretty much what you're getting. You're getting blackberry paired with black currant, and that tends to really push the blackberry forward, that black currant. It gives it an extra leg to stand on. So the blackberry core really stands out here, as opposed to what I hear about Jubilation 25, which I do not have, which I have not smelled at this point. I'm actually looking to hunt down an OG bottle of Jubilation 25, but Jubilation 40, the X today, 40%, I believe, oils at this point. It's a dense fragrance. It really, it lasts and lasts and lasts. It's not a huge projector like the Guerlains and the Chanel. You know, fine French perfume tends to not be big and projecting and bold and brash or harsh. So if you're one who needs crazy projection, you know, some of these on the list may not do it for you. There are a few that will, and I'll talk about those and point them out specifically when we get to them. But Jubilation 40, blackberry at the top. In the middle, you've got a myriad of notes. Actually, so many I can't remember off the top. Okay, blackberry, black currant, rosemary, labdanum, orange, which I'm not a huge fan of orange, but the orange sits nicely in here. it gives an articulation, so that way it's just not this big, dense cloud of heavy notes, especially as I keep going down the note tree. Hard notes, Scotch broom, which is kind of like a honey, frankincense, which I love, cinnamon, which I love, clove, which I love, rose, bay, St. Thomas, which I actually forgot what that is, but celery seeds, and base notes, patchouli, cistus, opopanax, myrrh. So you get a lot of resin, cedar wood, guaiac wood, musks, moss, ambergris, and of course, oud. This is no joke. Look at the I'm not even one to talk about boxing, but since I have it right here, Amouage, I tell you, I just got on the Amouage bandwagon some months ago, but I'm fully on it, and I don't ever see myself getting off. This house really has a lot going on. I really respect how they respect perfumery, but this is excellent. The blackberry hangs around, the oud sticks out, the myrrh, frankincense, and that's pretty much like really what you're going to get. That's pretty much really what's going to stand out in some of the woody notes. But more or less, if you don't like blackberry, you're not going to like this, because the blackberry is here and it hangs around almost to a degree of something like the way the fruits kind of hang around and something like the moon or something like that. It really hangs around. If you don't like blackberry, it's not like it's just going to burst out and go away. It's there, and it has that same tart, interesting je ne sais quoi of a taste and sensation that blackberry itself actually has when you taste it. It's amazing how it blends. I forgot to mention, this was made beautifully composed by Bertrand Duchefort. Excellent job, sir. Excellent job by the House of Amouage. I absolutely adore this fragrance. We'll talk about it. There definitely will be a solo standalone review on that one soon. Number 6, we have another from the House of Amouage, and this one is actually this one right here. If you recognize this box, again, Amouage is hitting on all cylinders with packaging. Number 6, we have Amouage Material. The Material Girl, Amouage Material Woman, Amouage Material, now the unisex line because they don't divide them anymore. But this is excellent. Now, what this basically is a really bass heavy fragrance. All bass, no breaks. All bass notes, no breaks. No. Now, this is composed by Miss Cecile Zarokian, who's phenomenal perfumer. Just killing the game with so many great creations. And she sees perfume the way I kind of see it, as in, like, I can tell by a lot of her compositions are based around vanillic, ambery, sweeter kind of notes, smoky notes. I like how she likes to warm it up. She likes to make a warm frag that doesn't, she's not spamming freshies. And I really can appreciate that. Vanilla Madagascar, benzoin, frankincense, oud, labdanum again, tonka bean, because who doesn't like tonka? Patchouli, guaiac wood again, osmanthus, and elemi oil. A lot of resins, a lot of woody notes. This is pretty much what you get. Spicy, woody, ambery, vanillic perfume in that order. Spicy, woody, ambery, vanillic perfume. It's excellent. I see a lot of comparisons to Grand Soir by MFK. And again, I will say, this is in line with the top note lists amber perfumes out there, like Grand Soir, like Oud Ambré by Cartier, Mathilde Laurent, which was on last year's list. I would say for this spot, for the 6th spot, anything in that realm can be Grand Soir can be substituted for this, as well as Oud Ambré can be substituted for this. But personally, I like this one the most out of those 3. I really do. This one, it's kind of dirty. It's not as vanillic and easy and simple in a complimentary way as Grand Soir. It's not as woody or dry as Oud Ambré. it's not as austere as Oud Ambré. This one gives a little, it's kind of right in the middle, but it has a lot more spice. It's so interesting. If you haven't put your nose on Amouage Material, please do. You won't regret it. I really think it's the bee's knees, and that's why it's at number 6. Warm, inviting, just delicious, semi-gourmand, but really, like I said, it's a serious kind of dirty kind of. It's an Arabic perfume. It's, you know, Amouage is centered around Oman. It has that influence. You can feel. It's not all the way trying to be a French perfume, even though Cécile Zarokian is French. Okay, number 5. We have one of my all-time favorites, Frederic Malle's Musc Ravageur by way of Mr. Maurice Roussel, Monsieur Roussel. This one is phenomenal. Again, you want to talk about base heavy. To be honest, I could have said in the like material that could have been a substitute for material. In a way, these are kind of similar, but the difference is this one has a lot more of a gourmand lean, and I would say an animalic kind of lean, and whereas this is more about spices and woods, this is more about sweets and seduction. You know, it really is about that carnal, sinful scent almost, you know, like just very, very, very warm, just very, very real almost. You just feel like it's a real scent. It smells just like, I don't know, Frederic's talked about, like, they've compared this to everything under the sun. Like, it does kind of have a lustful vibe though. It's sexy as hell. And I don't throw that around lightly or loosely. It's just really, really dynamic. It's all of that and then some. Can you dress this up? Yes, you can. But in my opinion, this is this is definitely a date night. This is like after hours. It's really something where you're trying to, you have intent when you put this on. And I don't like this. Now, I say that, but at the same time, this can be a signature. If you can rock it, it can be a signature. I really like that the dirty musk mixed with that cinnamon. It's almost like I said, it's like a cinnamon pastry mixed with like a dirty musk. You guys know Musc Ravageur though. You guys know it. If not, again, I implore you to do some research. It's a fantastic perfume, fantastic parfum. All right, now we're in the final 4. This one is the one that made me make a substitution, last minute substitution. I was all ready to film until this one came in the mail. Blind Buy, another one by Miss Cécile Zarokian. And this one was done by the House of Creed. This is the brand new, glorious Oud Zarian or Zarian. First off, I love Creed's bottles. I always have, even though I don't really, this is my first Creed that I've owned in a while. And the only Creed I currently own. Oh my God. Like, first off, this is the most powerful fragrance on this list. First off, so if you're power hungry, if you need to stand out, if you like to be bombastic, or if you like to just stand out and just announce yourself, you know, present yourself, have that presence where people do smell you. People do say, hey, you smell good. Hey, what are you wearing? If you're a compliment seeker, fair enough. This is the one. This is the one. This one and the next one are the ones. If you're really a compliment seeker. This one though, oh my gosh. What makes this fragrance so rich? Rich is the perfect adjective for this fragrance. Perfect adjective. First off, the color of the bottle is so dark that like you can only see it during the light, but it's like a really dark maroon burgundy. And it's a thick glass, like kind of frosted glass. The bottle color is perfect because it's almost like biting into decadent chocolate cake or decadent red velvet cake that's warmed. So you know the sugar's really coming out. And to where like you almost eat 1 or 2 bites and that's all you need. That's this. Like 1 or 2 sprays and you're really good to go. And I'm not a sissy sprayer as you know, as the term goes. I typically like to go like 6 sprays at least, you know, 3 on each side of the neck, call it a day, and maybe 2 on the chest, maybe 6 to 8. But this, you can go like 2 to 4. And that's really it, because it's gonna be there all day. This thing was there for 16 hours at the least. I remember I was like, Cecile Zarokian, all of her creations tend to have power. And we'll talk about some more of hers on this channel. Man, what a great perfumer. But let's see, like notes-wise, what's in this composition? Bergamot at the top, fine. You know, like I can handle that because some of my favorite all-time dense frags have bergamot to kind of give it some lift, like Spiritueuse Double Vanille. Frankincense, I'm all in, all in. Incense, say no less. Ginger, love, all in, right? I love Hermes Twilly and the ginger that's also in, I believe, Neroli Plein Sud. So awesome, I'm all in, right? Middle notes, Rose de Mai. Absolutely love that rose. The aesthetic of the rose, first off, but the fragrant aspect of Centifolia rose, cool, I'm there, right? And something different besides the Turkish rose that you typically always get. The base notes, patchouli, I'm all in. Sandalwood, I'm there. Myrrh, come on. Licorice, okay. I learned that I kind of like licorice, like with some of Cecile's creations. We'll talk about that in another video. Tonka bean. And then last and not least, this 80-year-old aged oud that Creed is claiming. Sure, I don't care. This fragrance is great. Whether it's an oud accord, whether it's some sort of, it's fantastic. But I will say this about the oud. All jokes aside about maybe the semi-hyperbolic advertisement of certain companies. Look, this fragrance though, when I spray it briefly, well, first off, the ginger and the ginger will take your nose off if you're not ready. If you just come right into it like I just did, the ginger will literally it'll snipe your nose off. It has a sparkle and a sharp texture to it that keeps it from being a cloud of woods and just a cloud of base. But right there, as soon as you let that go for about 30 seconds, maybe 20 seconds, now, you know what I get? I do get the oud. And you know what oud it smells like? Believe it or not, you know what oud it reminds me of? It reminds me of the same exact oud in Frederic Malle's The Night. Believe it or not, and I know that oud like the back of my hand because I paid like $50-something for a 2 ml sample of that $2,000 frag. And that's like at the top of my list of like fragrances I want, like as soon as possible. But this has a little bit of that in there, just a little bit, and you can smell it. Like, and I was like, and it made my eyes roll back. It makes my mouth water because you have that sensation mixed with the sweet notes, mixed with that smoke of the myrrh and the frankincense, and the spice of the ginger. Come on, like. Cecile showed out on this one. Showed the hell out. And I don't really like to curse on this channel or in really much in general these days, but golly, like what a frag. And it kicked down the door and had to make it into the top 5 of this fall list. We have to move on, but this will definitely be getting a video. If you're on the fence about it, get it. Is it expensive? Yeah, $630 for 100. But hey, that's the price of the game. And I tell you what, people are selling frags that aren't half as good for pretty much that price. So I would jump on it if you're considering it. Fantastic, one of the best blind buys I've ever made. Fan-freaking-tastic. Can't say enough about Oud Zarian. And arguably, it's my favorite Cecile Zarokian. I haven't smelled all of hers, but it's arguably my favorite. We'll come back to another day. Number 3. And I was questioning whether to put this one at 3, that Oud Zarian, or this, Tobacco Honey by Guerlain. Had to keep Tobacco Honey in the top 3. This appeared on last year's list. This is fantastic. It's literally the bee's knees. no pun intended, but with the Guerlain B on the back, it's literally the bee's knees, or the bee's bottle rather, because it actually has a real honey accord. You know, there are plenty of videos of people talking about how they literally took honey, melted it down, watered it down, put it in some water, distilled it through some machine they have at Guerlain, and they literally got the actual honey aroma in water and blended it in the composition. It's a marvel in the technological side of the progress of perfumery, but it's also a marvel like when it comes to just the wearing experience. This thing is smoky. It has the legitimate tobacco ashtray. I mean, I used to hate the smell of cigarettes, but over the years of perfumery, I've learned to like the smell of cigarettes and cigar smoke and stuff like that. This is excellent. Tobacco, honey, oud wood, sandalwood accord, vanilla, tonka, clove, and aniseed accord, and that's it. Delphine yolk for Guerlain, killing it. I say it's the best modern La Métier. You know, it's the best one since like probably Tonka Imperial in 2010. And this wears big too. It lasts all day and it projects really nicely, but not like this one in my opinion. In my opinion, not quite like this one. It's just a step back because it doesn't quite have the articulation like the floral heart and the ginger at the top, that and the bergamot that has a creed. Still, that it's still going to give you that kind of old school crisp perfumery mixed with the Orient Arabic influence of that. So come on. Number 2. Now this one, I should have had this last year. If I did, it would have made the list, but hey, we have to deal with what we have at the current time. This is the legendary, highly esteemed, all-time great Tobacco Vanille by Tom Ford. Come on. Tobacco Vanille by Tom Ford, composed by Olivier Guillotin. Fantastic perfume. I mean, you guys know, this literally put the house of Tom Ford's fragrance line on the map in 2007. They've been selling millions of bottles of these since. Everybody knows it. Even your most casual fragrance fan has probably heard of and has smelled Tobacco Vanille. When I got Tobacco Honey, and I got Tobacco Honey like a year and a half probably before this, for whatever reason, people compare Tobacco Honey to Tobacco Vanille. To me, there's no comparison. And I'm not saying that in terms of one's better than the other, because they're right side by side in my ranking. I'm saying that in the sense that this smells like, this is like a tobacco and honey. Really, it's a woody tobacco honey. It's a dark, droopy, goopy honey. This, and it almost has an acidic quality to it because of how sharp the honey smell can be. If you just know the aroma of honey. Tobacco Vanille is warm. It really wraps you more so than this kind of, it's a little aloof. I think Persolet has talked about, it's a little, it has this collar turned kind of dignity about it. This is a lot more approachable. It's still nice. It smells expensive. It's beautiful, but it's not as, it's more inviting. And this is why I put it at 2, and I'll take it over Tobacco Honey, push came to shove. More inviting. It's a little bit warmer, okay? And it's because honey versus vanilla is way more inviting than honey. So tobacco leaf, cinnamon's in here, clove, vanilla, some sort of cacao accord allegedly, but tonka bean for sure. Tobacco blossom in there to make it interesting. Some woody notes, but really the dried fruit accord. That's really what separates this from any other tobacco scent. It's that slight fruitiness. Not nearly as fruity as something like, Carolina Herrera's Amber Desire. Like that's like an amber that actually has a really serious like date fruit note. No, this is just enough fruit to make it intriguing and to kind of cut through that smoke. You guys know Tobacco Vanille. If you don't, again, I implore you to do some research. There will be a review on all of these. I keep saying that, but specifically on the ones that I'm gushing about. You can tell the ones that I really am like, hey, I'm really excited about, there'll be reviews, trust me, okay? Number 1, say it with me. If you watched last year's, you know what this is. It retains its top spot. Hell, this is the first review that I did on this channel in terms of standalone fragrance review. And this is by way of Jean-Claude Elena. This is Ambre Narguilé. Ambre Narguilé by the House of Hermes. Beautiful presentation again. Love the click of the cap. It reminds me of the Creeds that don't have this frosted glass, so it doesn't give you that satisfying click. Like I used to have an original Santal that I love that click. But 200 ml of this, love this. This is an EDT, so it doesn't have the same lasting power, but it does fly off the skin. It evaporates, it projects nicely, but still, it just kind of has this wispy watercolor, and that was the whole point of this Hermès line. Again, I have a whole review on it. But what are you getting in this? Cinnamon, fruits, tonka bean, sesame seed. It pretty much is like Musc Ravageur mixed with tobacco vanille. That's pretty much what it is. You get the gourmand apple pie vibe. For those of you guys who know, this is like the original, really angel share kind of scent profile. For those of you who love Parfums de Malle, Oajan, my roommate loves that one. He purchased that one. Even after smelling this one, he purchased that one instead of this. I personally think this is the original. It was made by the best perfumier, and you know, like out of those, and this is just it's an all-time frag. If somebody has a fall list and they have this in their collection and they don't have this on the fall list, they're compromised. They're compromised because this has to be on the, it has to be on the list. It has to be on the list. There's nothing more fall than, first off, Hermes clothes, boots, bags. You guys know that cognac brown, but look at the cap color, the Hermes orange. Come on, it was made for the occasion. And what a momentous occasion it was and will continue to be. I wore this last year on Thanksgiving Day. Fantastic frag. Again, if you like the scent of apple pie, bread pudding, graham crackers even, oatmeal, it has that kind of cinnamon blast. It really has a light gourmand cinnamon blast. Similar to Musc Ravageur, but Musc Ravageur is so warm. It almost has like a French toast, vibe. This is more like apple fritter that's kind of like cold. It's gorgeous. I wish it wore a little heavier. To be honest, I wish it kind of stayed around instead of you kind of having to chase it a little bit, but it kind of surprises you with random wafts. But I'll take what I can get of this gorgeous, gorgeous, sublime beauty. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes my top 10 fall fragrance. So used to talking about high fashion. Fall, autumn fragrance list. Let me know what you all think about my list in the comment section below. I really would appreciate your feedback. Let me know if you've smelled any of these, if you want to smell any of these. If you have any questions, again, ask me. I am here to help you make purchasing decisions and just to be another crazed fragrance enthusiast out here to let you know that you are not alone in the pursuit of just enjoying this olfactory art. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe if you will. I would love to see you next time, but until next time, you have a great day and holiday season. I will see you again shortly. Again, you don't want to miss what we have on the channel. Things are really starting to heat up. For those who have been around, you can see my consistency is up. I'm locked in, I'm ready to go, and I've got a lot to talk about, a lot to share. Again, if you have any video recommendations, let me know, please, as well. All right? Thank you. Love you guys. Take care.